Today in this video, I'm going to talk about how to study statistics for finance. So if someone who is considering a career in the field of finance, you must study some statistics. Statistics is widely used in the field of finance in many areas of finance, whether you work in compliance, whether you work in risk management, even for business roles, right? Front office roles, you need to know some statistics. And therefore, people from statistical econometrics background or people with MBA finance are preferred in the field of finance, right? So you must therefore study some statistics if you are interested in career in finance, not necessarily just quantitative finance, but even in other areas of finance, you need to know some statistics. Therefore, all kinds of certifications in the field of finance, whether it's the CPA or the CFA or the FRM, PRM, or CQF, all of these certifications actually teach you some statistics. CQF will teach you quite a bit of statistics. CFA, FRM, which are less quantitative certifications, they will not teach you statistics in detail, but they will nonetheless teach you some statistics. So it's very important that you learn a bit of statistics, and I'm going to teach you as to what are the things that you must learn, and what's the best way to learn statistics if you're considering a career in the field of finance, right? So if you're coming from a completely non-mathematical background, I would highly recommend you to do first a bit of maths, learn a bit of calculus, integral calculus, and differential calculus, learn a bit of coordinate geometry, linear algebra, and then do statistics. Without doing a bit of maths, high school maths, upper high school maths, you won't be able to get much of statistics. But if you have done a bit of maths and stats in the past, in a bachelor or master's or any degree, right, it may not be heavy maths, but you have done some maths, then I think you're good to go with learning statistics for the finance. Also remember that do not learn everything in statistics. Not each and every concept of statistics is used in the field of finance. There are many statistical concepts which are pretty much useless in the field of finance. So you make sure that you learn the relevant ones. Okay, I'm going to talk about what topics are relevant and what are the things that you must learn in order to work in the field of finance, right? So first thing that you must learn in the field of statistics is that a bit about how to describe the data, right? Understanding of the data, the different types of data available, right? Because statistics is all about data. uh, it can be numerical data, it can non-numerical data, continuous data, categorical data. So what are the different types of data that you come across in life, okay? And how to make sense of the data, it's all about statistics, right? And the most basic thing is about understanding the descriptive statistics of the data points, right? So therefore you must learn what's known as the location and spread. So location is about locating, the data in a way that somebody can make sense of it. It's about knowing the mean or the median or the mode, that kind of statistics. Spread is more about your standard deviation, variance, and so on. Okay, so these are basic concepts of statistics. You must start with these concepts, and then you go on to learn a bit of data visualizations. So learning different types of charts, like bar chart, um, pie chart. We use this charts very often in many areas, and certainly in the field of finance. But in the finance area, you also use some technical charts. For example, like QQ plots. So QQ plots, QQ plots, and PP plots. These are not charts used often in other areas in the industry, but certainly in the area of finance, you will find such plots. Okay, and after that, you learn a bit of about the multivariate statistics. So the mean, median, mode, and these charts are mostly single variate. That means you have just one variable, one column of data, and you are summarizing that in some form, right? But multivariate is about combining more than one variable or more than one column of data and then presenting it, and that's called multivariate statistics. And that's where you learn, concepts such as correlation, you learn about covariance, marginal density. Okay, so these are some of the concepts that you learn as part of multivariate statistics. You also learn about, I think it's important to learn also a bit about probability theory, because probability and statistics, they go in hand, and they're massively used in all areas of finance. Also to sort of make sense of the analytical aspect of finance, you need to know uh, probability, because you know finance is all about assessing future uncertainties, right? Assessing risk and return, and everything is associated with some form of uncertainty, and that's where probability is quite heavily used, right? So learn about the probability theory, the distributions, different types of distributions in probabilities, but you could also start with concepts such as random variable. um, Also good to know about the set operations a bit. Set operation is a mathematical concept. Well, probability itself is a mathematical concept, but set operation is something that you learn in high school mathematics. Good to do a bit of a brush up. um, and then I spoke about the probability distribution. Start with the discrete distribution, and then also learn the continuous probability distributions, right? In description, you have like Bernoulli and Bernoulli, binomial, right? And then in continuous, you have distributions such as the normal distribution, the chi-square distributions, and so on. Okay. Um, you also need to learn a bit about how distributions are represented in extreme cases, in extreme situations, right? It's also, there's something called extreme value theory, actually. Extreme value theory, right? So probability distribution is also related to that, so learn a bit about that. um, Very important also to learn the Bayes statistics. Not many people use the Bayesian statistics in various areas, but in certain areas you will definitely have to use the Bayesian statistics and the conditional distributions and so on. Okay, so learn a bit of that. um, what else? Yeah, good to also learn copula. Again, it's about understanding dependency between variables. So copula is one important concept used in many areas of finance, certainly in the area of market risk modeling. So, and in various other risk modeling also copula is used. So learn a bit of copula. Hypothesis testing, sampling, these are very important concepts. In many areas of finance, you will see that samples are being compared, and you will be asked to you know make an assessment of whether there is a difference between two samples or not, right? You then summarize the data, do comparison, and that's when hypothesis testing will be quite handy. So make sure that you learn hypothesis testing. You learn about the point estimates, confidence intervals. If somebody is talking about okay, we can trust this at you know uh, 95% confidence interval, and so on, then you must have some understanding of that. I remember talking to one really highly senior guy. He was heading a portfolio of over 100 billion. I mean, he was the head of the business unit, part of the board, managing board at a bank, and he was sort of trying to understand the p value, because I was presenting where I was telling, oh, because this is significant and do this, do that, and he was like, okay, explain to me what is a p value, right? Now you might be in a situation that you have to explain what is a p value to a very senior management guy in a bank or at an insurance firm or at a consulting firm or at a private fund. I mean, these guys are very smart, but you have to be able to explain mathematical concept in a layman language to them. So having understanding of these concepts extremely important, not just for people who are going to be working in risk modeling or quantitative areas. It's for anyone who is going to work in the field of finance. Even if you become an accountant, you still have to learn quite a bit of statistics, right? Therefore you have statistics as a topic in the accountancy examinations, such as in the CPA exams, in the CA exams, right? So these are therefore very important things to learn, right? And finally, right, if you really want to learn, the basics of statistics, do not leave what is known as the perhaps uh, the building block for all modeling work that take place in the field of finance, which is the regression analysis. Now, if you're not somebody who is going to work in quantitative areas, you probably may not have to learn regression analysis in great detail, but nothing wrong in learning a bit of that and applying that in few of the areas that you will be working on, right? The famous CAPM model, right? It's a concept that probably the CAPM analysis used is taught and it's learned by I think almost anyone or everyone working in the field of finance. Remember that CAPM uses regression analysis, right? So if you are an accountant or you are an MBA finance guy who doesn't know much about regression analysis, you won't be able to make a proper sense of what a CAPE model is, right? So, in order to be able to understand those concepts, like understanding what is a market beta, what is equity risk premium, understanding of capital asset pricing model or arbitrage models, it's important to also have a fair bit of understanding of statistics. Even if you are somebody who is a equity researcher doing value based investing, you must also have a decent understanding of statistics. You could go wrong if you do not know the basic concept. You need not be uh, a guy who's an expert in everything in statistics. That's not never an expectation, but no matter which area of finance you work in, you'll have to learn some level of statistics, and the concepts that I mentioned are the bare minimum ones. Okay, statistics is pretty broad area. It can take literally years to learn statistics. People learn statistics in 3-year bachelor and 2-year master's program. That takes 5 years to learn statistics, but that's not something you're going to do. If for someone who's not going to be working as a quant but working in other areas of finance, so you have to learn these concepts quickly, right? So the topics that I mentioned are the ones that you're going to learn, and you can easily finish learning this concept in about 3 to 6 months time, depending on how much efforts you're going to put in, right? So that's something I want to share with you. If you have any questions, let me know. As always, thanks for watching and see you in another video.